If you're tired of energy crashes, brain fog, and mood swings with Hashimoto's, this video could change how you eat forever. Because when you understand blood sugar and food timing, you unlock one of the simplest ways to start feeling better. I'm Naira, a certified holistic nutritionist and your Hashimoto's BFF, and I know firsthand how confusing and frustrating it can be to deal with Hashimoto symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, and mood swings, especially when your labs look normal, but you still don't feel like yourself. Here's the thing about Hashimoto's. It's not just about your thyroid. Your blood sugar actually plays a huge role in how you feel day to day. And what most people don't realize is that when you eat can be just as important as what you eat. So in this video, I'm going to break down the connection between Hashimoto's and blood sugar, why food timing matters so much, and some simple practical tips you can start using today to stabilize your energy and finally feel more balanced. And if you're ready for a clear path to help you heal your thyroid step by step, I created a resource just for you. It's called the Hashimoto's Relief Roadmap, and it's the exact system I wish I had when I was first diagnosed. Inside, I'll walk you through the same framework I used to reduce my symptoms, lower my antibodies, and finally start to feel like myself again. And it's all laid out in a way that is doable and sustainable. You'll find the link in the description below. Let's get started with why blood sugar is such a big deal in Hashimoto's. One of the most overlooked pieces of Hashimoto's is blood sugar balance. When your blood sugar spikes too high or drops too low, your body sees it as an emergency. And to fix it, your system pumps out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Now, that's just normal biology, is how the body protects itself. But with Hashimoto's, your immune system is already hypersensitive. So every time your blood sugar swings out of range, those stress hormones fuel inflammation, ramp up immune system activity. It can actually trigger thyroid flare-ups. Think of it like pouring gasoline on an already burning fire. In everyday life, this could feel like suddenly having energy crashes. So one minute you're on, and then the next you feel like you get a nap. Then there's brain fog, where it's almost impossible to focus. There's anxiety or jitterness that seems to come out of nowhere. You might even experience irritability, especially if you've gone too long without eating. I know I am very guilty of that one. And then sometimes even poor sleep, because blood sugar dips overnight can wake up your body with a cortisol spike. Now, these symptoms often get blamed on thyroid fatigue or just thyroid brain fog, but really they're just as much about blood sugar swings. And when blood sugar is unstable day after day, thyroid keeps taking hits. For years, I thought my afternoon slumps were just Hashimoto's. By 3 p.m., I'd feel like someone pulled the plug. My energy was gone, my brain felt heavy, and I couldn't focus. And at first, I assumed it was just my thyroid hormones being off, but when I looked closer, I noticed a pattern. Most mornings, I'd skip breakfast because I was too busy. Then I'd grab something quick and carb-heavy for lunch, maybe a sandwich or a granola bar. And by mid-afternoon, my blood sugar would crash. And then my body would go into stress mode. The result? Fatigue, brain fog, irritability. My thyroid was involved, yes, but the real trigger was my blood sugar. And here's the bigger picture that I want you to understand. Blood sugar and thyroid health are directly connected. When cortisol stays high from constant blood sugar spikes and crashes, it interferes with how your thyroid hormones are converted and used. It also makes your cells more resistant to insulin, which creates another layer of stress for your body to deal with. So it's not just about how you feel in the moment. Unstable blood sugar is actually working against your thyroid at a physiological level. The good news? Once I started eating more balanced meals and paying attention to food timing, those 3 p.m. crashes started to disappear. My energy then became more steady, I was less irritable, and my brain fog lifted. All this to say, stabilizing blood sugar is one of the fastest ways to calm inflammation and start feeling like yourself again. So now, what does food timing have to do with it? Honestly, a lot more than most people realize. Here's the thing, it's not just about what you eat that affects your blood sugar, it's also when you eat. If you're skipping meals or going long stretches without eating, your body doesn't have the fuel that it needs to keep blood sugar stable. So it dips too low, your stress hormones kick in, and that sets off a chain reaction that can leave you exhausted, foggy, anxious, or even wired up when you should be calm. Skipping breakfast is one of the most common patterns here. You wake up, maybe just grab coffee, and then you push through lunch. And while it might feel like you're fine, what's happening under the surface is that your blood sugar is crashing, your cortisol is spiking to compensate, and your thyroid and immune system are taking the hit. Then there's the opposite pattern, eating late at night. If your biggest meal of the day is right before bed, especially if it's heavy in carbs or sugar, your blood sugar will spike when your body should be winding down. That makes it harder to fall asleep or stay awake. And to add to this, it often leads to higher morning blood sugar levels, which sets you up for more instability all day long. So, what works better? A steady rhythm of eating balanced meals every 3 to 4 hours during the day. This doesn't mean that you're constantly snacking, but it does mean you're giving your body consistent fuel so it doesn't have to dip into emergency mode. One of the most powerful changes you can make is starting the day with a balanced breakfast. So, protein, healthy fat, and fiber. Think eggs with avocado and veggies, a smoothie with protein and greens, or chia pudding with nut butter and berries. When you do this, you're telling your body you're safe, you're nourished, and you don't need to panic. That foundation sets you up for steady energy all day. Another way to think of it is by thinking of your body as a campfire. If you only throw on kindling, like sugar and refined carbs or just coffee, just the bare minimum, the fire burns hot and bright for a short time, but then it dies out quickly. That's the blood sugar spike and crash cycle. But if you add bigger logs like protein, healthy fats, and fiber, the fire burns steady, keeping you warm and stable for hours. That's what balanced meals and consistent timing do for your body. Now, does this mean you need to eat on the clock every 3 hours exactly? Absolutely not. But it does mean paying attention to the signals your body gives you. If you're crashing mid-afternoon, if you're waking up at 3 a.m., if you're moody or anxious between meals, those are signs your blood sugar timing might need some adjusting. And here's the best part. Once you start stabilizing your blood sugar with food timing, you often notice results quickly. When I started making this change myself, my energy felt steadier within a week, and even my brain fog started to lift after just a few days of eating in rhythm. It's one of those simple but powerful shifts that make a big difference without adding more overwhelm. Now, let's pull this all together with some specific strategies that will help stabilize your blood sugar. The first one is simple but powerful, and I've already said it. Don't skip breakfast. If anything, remember this: don't skip breakfast. I know intermittent fasting is really trendy right now, and while it can be helpful for some people, it's usually not the best if you have Hashimoto's. When you skip breakfast, your body has to rely on stress hormones to keep your blood sugar up. And for someone with an autoimmune condition, that just adds more strain to your thyroid and immune system. So instead, start the day with protein, healthy fats, and fiber. And this will send a signal to your body that you're safe and you're nourished and it doesn't need to panic. And it really will help set the tone for the rest of the day. The second strategy is to space your meals about 3 to 4 hours apart. This rhythm will give your body consistent fuel and helps prevent the spikes and crashes that come from long gaps between meals. You don't need to be militant about it. Just aim for a steady flow of nourishment so that your body doesn't have to overcorrect with cortisol. Thirdly, avoid eating your largest meal right before bed. That heavy late night eating, especially if it's carb heavy, can spike your blood sugar at the very time your body should be winding down. That often leads to restless sleep, waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, or grogginess the next day. Instead, focus on lighter, balanced dinners. Think of protein, veggies, and some healthy fats, and you'll not only start sleeping better, but your morning blood sugar will be more stable, which means better energy during the day. The fourth tip is about snacks. Not everyone needs them, but if you're anything like me and you find yourself crashing hard between meals, a balanced snack can really help. The key here is balance. So don't just grab anything. So don't go for the sugary or carb heavy things. Instead, go for something with more protein and fat. Think like a handful of nuts with some berries or hummus with veggie sticks. This will help give your body some steady power without the spike and energy crash. So if you're struggling with fatigue, brain fog, or mood swings, try playing with these simple timing strategies. They may seem small, but they can completely change how you feel day to day. I want to leave you with this. You don't have to change everything overnight. In fact, please don't. The fastest way to burn out is trying to overhaul your entire diet and routine in one go. And we don't want to do that. What matters most is progress, not perfection. So start with one small shift. Maybe that's eating a real breakfast tomorrow instead of just coffee, or spacing out your meals a little bit more evenly throughout the day. Then pay attention to how your body responds. Those little changes add up, and over time, they can make a massive difference in your energy, your mood, and your thyroid health. If this video gave you clarity, hit that like button and please subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss upcoming videos. And let's make this a conversation. Comment below and tell me, do you notice a difference in your energy when you skip meals or eat at an irregular time? Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And remember, you don't have to figure this out alone. I am here cheering you on every step of the way. You got this, and I'll see you in the next video.